is we're going to work a little bit with ellipses. And I want you to think about it in this way. We're going to draw 3 shapes using ellipses. Start out with a straight line somewhere on your paper. And you all should know the difference. You should understand like degrees of ellipses, right? Along this line, what I want you to do is draw approximately, I want you to draw 4 or so 20-degree or something around 20-degree ellipses that are bisected by that initial line that we drew. And I want you to also vary them in size. So by bisected, this is my minor axis for that ellipse, and so both of these sides should be equal. That's a little, you want to make sure that your proportional relationship, the width to the height of this ellipse is maintained across each of these. That proportional relationship, not the size. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now down here, maybe draw a minor axis at an angle. Do the same thing. Let's vary the degree. If this was 20, I'm going to bump it up to maybe about 30. And you'll see I'm just drawing it very lightly. And again, just like positioning the paper and the angle to optimize drawing a straight line, that ellipse I'm almost drawing on that same angle. I'm putting the major axis almost at that angle, and it makes it a little bit more comfortable for me. But this is where you do want to draw extremely lightly. And then in this open space up here, let's put a curve. Let's draw a fairly natural curve. And that should be your minor axis. So at each point along this curve, there's a tangent line at that point. For example, right here. That tangent line is about like that. That's what I'm going to use for my minor axis. Again, make sure that for each of the ones along these different lines that the degree is somewhat similar. Okay. From here, I want you to either put in curves. Like right here, I've got that point, and that point. I'm going to try and draw in a curve. It's as if I'm revolving these objects. And on this side, I'm going to have these 3 points. I want to put that curve in there. Then I'm going to put a straight line coming from there over to this one. I'm trying to make sure that these are tangent. And then this is going to come out and enlarge just a little bit towards the top. So just a series, I want you to connect and create these revolved shapes. I'm going to slow this down. On the outside, I want to darken this in. I do want to add some heavier line work to these curves that I'm drawing in. These are just straight lines. So I'm going to slow down and draw the top of this ellipse. On this one, let's see. Yeah, I'll put a curve in across here. And it's not very easy to hit those points, and I'm putting dots in because they're helping me. And I'm going to ghost in that curve before I ever put the pen down to paper. Same thing on the other side. Got these 3 points I need to go through. And I'm going to draw a straight line down there. I'm going to curve this in too. And while a lot of this semester will be dedicated to talking about how we use cubes as the basis and for constructing a perspective sketch, you can see here that we're drawing essentially what amounts to three-dimensional forms, but we're starting out with ellipses to do so, which is another method. here's on this one I'm just going to try, and this is going to be a little more difficult. I'm going to try and make a smooth curve all the way through it. So I need this to come through about tangent right there. Tangent. At each of these points it needs to be somewhat tangent. And for this I am going to slow my pen down quite a bit. But it's nice and smooth all the way across. Even down here. Darken this in just a little bit right there. How about on one of these? Like I've got, by darkening this in, I'm saying that this object is leaning towards me in this way. On one of these, what I want you to do, maybe this first one, that top ellipse that you've got, I want you to draw another ellipse, but I want you to, if the center of this one's right there, I want you to come down a little bit on that same line and draw a smaller ellipse. About that same degree right there. And that begins to, now that's a recessed area. Maybe if you want to, you're more than welcome to do it on all of these.